Hi, I'm Vickie Eisenstein with IdeateTV, and I'm with Ari Herstand of Ari's Take. Why don't you explain a little bit about your musical background for everybody who is not quite familiar?
Sure. I started as a singer-songwriter. I've played everywhere from living rooms to arenas, everything in between, about 1,000 shows all over the world. Now I'm in a 1970 throwback funk soul band. I got really deep into funk, so I'm doing that. I play a little trumpet. So my music's kind of all over, but I've really found my lane here, and why I'm here is in the music business education, because I found that there really isn't a lot of resources out there for independent musicians on how to navigate the world of the industry. And so that's why I'm here talking about the whole music industry and how to make a living as an independent musician.
That's awesome. I'm sure there's so many people. I mean, we saw so many people at your talk and wanting to speak to you after and get advice. So what is kind of the number one advice you'd give to an independent music maker these days?
The number one thing is I ask them, it's a question, what are your goals? Because you have to define your goals, because there's no longer just one way to make it in the music business anymore. There are 100 ways to make a career happen in the music industry. So I can't tell you necessarily what to do if I don't know what you want as your career. Some people want to tour. Great. Bunch of goals. You have to set the goals. Some people don't want to tour. Some people only want to do the internet stuff or put their music on TV, and that's all fine. There's so many different ways to make a music career happen. So you have to define your goals. And then once you set a goal, it's going to be very specific. We call them SMART goals. The specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Those are smart goals. You have to make it specific. So I want to play this venue and sell it out in 6 months. That's a very specific SMART goal. You set that goal, then you can reverse engineer that goal, and you can find out how you're going to actually achieve it.
I love that. So scientific. So it's not just like, oh, I'm dreaming about it, right?
Yeah. You have to put it into action. It's just like, yes, you can start with the manifestation, manifest, real, visualize it, all of that. But then to put it into action, you actually really need those specific tactics, and you have to set that goal, and then you have to march in that direction.
I'm sure a lot of people with so many options and like so much going on, like how do you fight burnout?
Yeah, and I was talking about that today at the talk all about TikTok, because we see a lot of musicians when they're told they feel like they have to use yet another social media app that they're not resonating with, we see a lot of burnout happening. So you really have to find what inspires you. And yes, if you're going to try a social media platform, don't try to do it like everybody else. If you're going to try TikTok, find your niche, find what inspires you and make it your own. Because if you try to do it a way that somebody else has done it, you're going to hate it. It's not going to be fun, and you're going to burn out. And so to avoid burnout, that's what you really want to focus on, is like, what inspires me? And then what am I good at? What are my strengths? And then show that. And so I was talking about this band Truesdale. They're 3 women, 3-part harmonies, and they operate on TikTok in a really interesting way, where every video they do 3-part harmonies, whether it's an original or a cover, it doesn't matter, but they've carved out this niche. They've stayed true to who they are. They're not doing dances. They're not jumping on all these other trends. The trend that resonates for them is we sing harmonies, and that's what we're going to do, and it works really well for them, and it's translated into millions of streams.
That's awesome. All right, so one last question, a little random out there. What's your favorite song?
Oh my gosh, of all time or right now?
Like if I'm telling you, I guess right now or all time, whichever comes to your mind, because I know it's hard for me to pick favorites sometimes.
Oh my, putting me on the spot. All right, let's see. My favorite song. Let's go with. All right, so my mom's from Detroit. And I grew up listening to a lot of Motown music. And so I think I'm going to have to go with, there's a special place in my heart for I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. It's just, I'm going to throw that out there.
I love that. Classic. Yeah. I love
Classic,
it. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ari. It was so great getting to talk to you. I'm Vickie Eisenstein with IdeateTV. And definitely check out Ari on TikTok and Spotify and everywhere else.